To all the non-believers, 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 non-believers. I'm making out.
What's up, y'all? This is Jay Varsity, and welcome to another episode of NBA Talk. This is episode 130, and I legit thought I had this episode all planned out. I literally had all the topics I had planned out until I saw what I saw last night. And I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. The shocker of the week being the Washington Wizards beating the Brooklyn Nets last night. Like, we're gonna get into multiple topics today between the upset that the Wizards gave to the Nets last night. We're gonna go over Lakers versus Celtics. We're gonna go over the Bradley Beal situation. We're gonna be going over the struggles and rises of different teams. The streak that the Utah Jazz just had before the streak ended last night. Anyway, let's get right into it. The headline that we have to get into right now, obviously, would have to be the shocker of the night that we just saw, which was the Brooklyn Nets falling to the Washington Wizards. Now, people are gonna say, "Oh, James Harden didn't play because of something with his thigh." Well, guess what? You still got Kevin Durant and you still got Kyrie. And you're playing against the Washington Wizards, who are quote-unquote the worst team in the NBA. Well, to me, you got a shot whenever you got Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Now, Russell Westbrook has been taking a lot of heat lately. He's been taking a lot of heat lately, saying that he's washed and all that, especially from NBA executives, talking about that he's washed, that his play style doesn't work anymore, and all that other nonsense. And then Bradley Beal, like I said, Bradley Beal was a whole nother topic I was going to get into, but Bradley Beal has been the trending topic in the past week, talking about how he's frustrated with his team and how people are saying he could be looking to get a trade, and talking about the trade clauses that he had on his contract, that he should be regretting for signing that extension with the Wizards. Well, he still showed a bit of frustration during that game against the Nets because, there's that viral clip of Bradley Beal slamming the ball against a stanchion during the game, because I think they gave up a wide open dunk. And Westbrook just had a perfect agenda to go after these critics, especially in this game against Brooklyn. He was in straight attack mode, and that's the way Russell Westbrook plays, and that was just beautiful to watch. Watching Russell Westbrook put up damn near a 41-point triple-double, just straight attacking the paint, he looked a lot more explosive. He just looked better. Like, for some reason, Russell Westbrook just looked very, very odd. Like, and I didn't pay attention as much, but apparently he was suffering from a quad injury and all that, and he came back, and you clearly saw a different Russell Westbrook. He was a lot more aggressive going to the rim. He wasn't hesitating. It was just beautiful. It was just beautiful to see. And Bradley Beal did his thing. We all know what Bradley Beal is capable of. He's the leading scorer in the NBA. Russell Westbrook put up 41 and Bradley Beal put up 37. That should just tell you the story. But that, unfortunately, it's not what tells you the story. What the tale of the take that people are probably going to mention is the fact that how the Brooklyn Nets gave up a 5-point lead in 3 seconds. They gave up a 5-point lead in 3 seconds. Literally, that's exactly what happened. I remember Russell Westbrook was trying to take a step back three over Kevin Durant, and I literally was saying after that ball clanked off the rim, I was like, Russ, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, man? And all of a sudden, I'm just like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Jeff Green made one free throw. This game could legit be over. It's only a 3-point game. I might be saying this wrong, so correct me in the comment section. I might be telling this completely wrong because my memory is just like here and there. And all I remember is Bradley Beal runs up to the top of the key, shoots a three, swishes it, and all I see is Joe Harris throw a turnover on the inbound, and I just see Westbrook at the 3-point line, and he shoots that, and it swishes. I'm telling you, I sat there and I said, this is something straight out of 2K. This is something I've seen straight out of 2K. Because rarely do I rarely see that teams commit turnovers on like that on an inbound so close. Because one, Brooklyn had 2 timeouts left. So I was surprised that they didn't call a timeout. Like, I was really shocked. You see Russell Westbrook hit a 3 like you see Bradley Beal hit a 3 like that, and you don't call a timeout so you could advance the ball? I didn't notice that until after the game. I had to rewatch those last few seconds. I had noticed that Brooklyn had 2 timeouts. Kyrie thought he had iced the game after hitting that mid-range shot, and it was like I thought so too. I was like, okay, this game's over. And Russell Westbrook said, say less. And then all of a sudden, KD can't get the ball to save his life. And it all came down to Kyrie Irving throwing a bounce pass to TLC, and he misses a wide open layup. Yes, he missed a wide open layup. There was no reason whatsoever. I don't care how much pressure you are under. You do not miss a wide open layup with 2-point-something seconds left. Like that was a shocker to me. But it was just a stunning upset because the Wizards are by far the team that has the worst defense in the NBA, and they made the Brooklyn Nets. They looked like a damn near. I don't know. My words are just here all over the place. Let me collect myself. The Washington Wizards were able to put up 148 points. And the crazy part is they put up 48 points in the fourth quarter. Now, I'm not gonna ignore the fact that Brooklyn was playing some great ball in the last 10 games. I believe they went 8-2. Yes, they went 8-2. But the defensive glarings are still there. Everything that we have been talking about when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets defensively is still there. Kyrie said it himself. I couldn't guard a stick tonight. He said that clearly after the loss to the Wizards. But you're going to tell me that as many points as the Brooklyn Nets could put up, their opponents are going to put up the same amount of points. The score of this game was ridiculous. Brooklyn put up 147 points. The Wizards put up 148. And they allowed 48 points in the fourth quarter. I don't think I've seen a team put up 48 points in the fourth quarter. This is how bad that we're trying to say that the Brooklyn Nets are defensively. And they're playing against another bad defensive team. They're not playing a great offensive team either. The Wizards are not explosive. They're not explosive like this. It's just a matter of Russell Westbrook having a comeback night, along with Bradley Beal putting up 37. That was not. It wasn't luck. It wasn't luck whatsoever. But it was just they got hot. They got hot from the field because they did not shoot great from the three, and they hit those threes when it mattered. But Brooklyn, you clearly see that they got issues. They still got issues to figure out. And I know people are mentioning, that they're signing Iman Shumpert. When has Iman Shumpert solved any problems? I literally have to ask that. When has Iman Shumpert ever solved any problems defensively? After 2016 with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Iman Shumpert has not played a lick of defense since then. Jesus Christ. Iman Shumpert had fallen off so bad. I don't remember him playing a lick of defense ever since 2016. And to think that Brooklyn was so quick to sign him, it just made me think, do they not know who they're signing? Do they think he's going to come and just play lockdown defense? Like, do they think he's going to just do that? Now, he might not be a guy that's going to beg for the ball or anything like that, but he's not going to be as effective as you think he's going to be. Because you got three superstars on this team. And I understand, like I said, James Harden didn't play, but the defensive glares are just going to be a problem from here on out. And then another thing, the problem with the bigs. Now I understand we heard rumors about Andre Drummond wanting a buyout because apparently he wants to join the Brooklyn Nets. Now, him saying that out loud, I don't know how desperately the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to try to buy him out. That's a story that we have to pay attention to see if the Cavs even buy him out. Because if they do buy him out and Brooklyn does get Andre Drummond, that's we're having a whole nother discussion. Because now Brooklyn at least has some form of rim protection. But as of right now, they got no rim protection whatsoever because, as you could clearly see, Russell Westbrook was just going to the paint every possession, and KD wasn't stopping him. Russell Westbrook is so amped up to play KD, it's not even funny. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some of Westbrook's best games were against Kevin Durant because he just plays with even more angry when he plays KD, even though they say that they don't have their beef no more ever since 2016, but you clearly see that he gets up whenever he sees Kevin Durant on the floor. You clearly see it. But yeah. Another thing I have to get into with the whole Bradley Beal trade rumors thing. We might not hear a lick about Bradley Beal asking for a trade for a very long time. Because if the Wizards somehow, I'm not going to say take off, but if they start playing at least decent ball, we could just give up on the Bradley Beal trade rumors. As much as a Heat fan, as much as I want to as a Heat fan, I would love for Pat Riley to pull the trigger and get Bradley Beal. I would love that. But if we're speaking realistically, I don't think Bradley Beal's going anywhere this year. I don't think he's going anywhere this year. So that was the Wizards and Nets game. The next game we got to talk about the classic, one of the most legendary rivalries in the NBA. Lakers versus Celtics. We had another classic game between the two greatest franchises in NBA history on Saturday. It ended in classic Lakers-Celtics fashion because I swear in the last 4 or 5 years, the Lakers versus Celtics have had at least one crazy close game every time that they've played in every season. They only play twice a year. I swear one of those games is always close. Pay attention to last year when they were playing in the Staples Center, how Jason Tatum was going off for 41 and LeBron hits the game winner with a fadeaway over Jaylen Brown. And now this game, this game was a lot closer than people realize. The Lakers did take a 10-point lead in the second quarter, but you clearly saw how aggressive the Celtics were. They weren't relying so much on the three-point shots, but they were attacking. They were nonstop attacking right in the mid when it comes to the mid-range. Jason Tatum, I swear to you, Jason Tatum looks like a completely different player even from last year. He doesn't hesitate for nothing in the world. So as soon as he starts a game, he's in attack mode. He's attacking whoever is in front of him. Every time he sees Anthony Davis, I swear he scores on him every time. And I'm just literally sitting there contemplating. I'm like, Anthony Davis, you have a crazy long wingspan and you're damn near 7 feet tall. How can you not get a hand up? Because there were times that I looked at the screen and I'm like, why don't you put a hand up? He's hitting fadeaways over you. He is hitting fadeaways over you, my guy. And it's the same. And then LeBron, I noticed from time to time, LeBron was taking on the assignment of guarding Jaylen Brown, which was something I like to see. I like to see that LeBron taking on the assignment of guarding one of Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, because to me, there's always gonna be that criticism towards LeBron about people saying, "Oh, he doesn't ever want to take on the assignment of guarding one of the best players on the team. He's always trying to guard the guy that's a role player or he's just catching and shooting." No, he took on the assignment of guarding Jaylen Brown. As a matter of fact, he gave him a good old-fashioned chase down block during the game too. Marcus Smart, according to the Celtics organization, that he suffered a calf strain, but I saw that replay. And what I saw was a giant pop in that replay. So I hope that it's just a calf strain. I hope that wasn't an Achilles, because it looked like an Achilles to me. Because Marcus Smart, as much as I can't stand him because I just don't like the Celtics, he's an amazing player. He's a great defender, and when he wants to, he could be a streaky three-point shooter. So you don't want to see NBA players get hurt. You don't ever want to see that, but it's like that just looked way too concerning to me, that it looked like an Achilles, because I just saw a giant pop at that replay, and it just reminded me of KD in the 2019 finals. It just reminded me way too much of that. So Marcus Smart ended up having to leave the game, obviously for what I just mentioned. And then the game really came down to the wire. LeBron James hit a couple of threes, and it all started after a quick turnover that led to a Montrezl Harrell dunk, and all of a sudden Jason Tatum was just turning into Larry Bird. Jason Tatum turned into Larry Bird. He just kept hitting floater after floater after floater. It got to a 1-point game, and there's another thing with the Lakers before I get to this next point. They have a really big problem when it comes to turnovers. Anytime the Lakers have a big lead, or even a decent lead, they start turning the ball over so many times. It's not even funny. Like, they start getting reckless. Now, understand, this is a long season. There's gonna be games that they turn up for, but it's just the alarming factor of turning the ball over so many times. It's just racking my brain, because they never turned the ball over this much, even last season. They were a lot more careful with the ball. And I believe they committed 2 turnovers. They committed 2 turnovers in the fourth quarter, but they were 2 big turnovers. And the Celtics committed a lot of turnovers themselves, because I believe the Lakers forced a lot of them. Now, getting to that last possession, like I said, Jason Tatum hits a floater, makes it a 1-point game. It's 96-95. And all I remember is Anthony Davis is getting the ball, and he has it on the elbow. And all I see is Jaylen Brown getting the steal. And I'm just thinking, no freaking way is he about to get a layup. And Alex Caruso, literally, I did not see him on my TV whatsoever. I'm not saying I have a small TV, but I did not see him whatsoever when coming across the court and cutting off Jaylen Brown. And that threw Jaylen Brown's rhythm off. Like, that really threw him off and to figuring out what to do, because there was only so little time that you had. And then Kemba Walker had all the time in the world, shoots a fadeaway. For anybody that says that there was a foul that should have been called, I want to know where you think a foul was called, because yes, I did hear people say where was the foul, and Kemba Walker just missed a step back fadeaway. And Daniel Tice was already too late to attempt that layup, so the game was over by then. That game ended That game ended like in 2019 when Rondo hit the game winner in the Boston Garden. Well, the TD Garden. I don't know what they call it now, but I still call it the Boston Garden. But that ended in classic Lakers Celtics fashion, and that's what makes this rivalry so good. We could have had this in the NBA Finals. Now, we might get a Lakers Celtics Finals, but with this whole thing in Brooklyn, who knows? That might have just stopped the process of that even happening. But like I said, that game ended in classic fashion. You know, anytime you get Lakers Celtics, you're gonna get a good game. That overall, you just know you're gonna get a good game one way or another. It's LeBron, AD, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, the two great defensive teams, and they could be explosive as hell on the offensive end once they get clicking. Anyway, let's get on to the next topic. The Utah Jazz. Before falling to the Denver Nuggets yesterday, when Jokic put up that crazy 44, especially putting up 33 in the first half. My Lord, Nikola Jokic, oh my God. Nikola Jokic, man, oh my Lord. His game triggers me, but at the same time, it's like, how can you be mad at it? He plays with such finesse. It's like the soft touch is so frustrating to so many teams, especially to so many bigs. Bigs are frustrated trying to guard Jokic because they just don't know what to do. He could shoot from anywhere on the floor, and he plays with such grace. His footwork is amazing. He makes defenders look absolutely silly. He made Rudy Gobert look. He made Rudy Gobert look like a joke yesterday. I know I was just going to talk about the Utah Jazz for a second, but this is just some praise for Nikola Jokic, man. His game has stepped up his game has come a very long way. And you could clearly see it just from the way that he plays. I think he has gained a lot more confidence since that Clippers series, because now he's playing like this more and more often. And when we see performances like this, that he puts up 30 points in the first half, and he ends up with 44, and he's doing this all on a two-time former two-time defensive player of the year, who got a max contract for his defense. I'm just like, wow. He just loves embarrassing Rudy Gobert. And tell me I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong if Nikola Jokic doesn't love embarrassing Rudy Gobert. Because every time he plays against him, he has a big game. Which really questions to me, is Rudy Gobert's defense even really that good? Is it even really that good at this point? Because when he has to stop bigs like Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid, they're just big versions of guards. They play like guards and they're bigs. But now back to the Utah Jazz. Even though their streak did end they were on an 11-game win streak. 11-game win streak. An 11-game win streak that I've never heard people not talk about in my years of talking about the NBA. Now again, I haven't done it professionally, but I just love that as an NBA fan, how so many people in the media were not talking about the Utah Jazz being on an 11-game win streak. It was the most least mentioned thing I've ever heard on ESPN or any of those, or Undisputed, or any of those other shows. The Utah Jazz are absolutely balling. You got Bojan Bogdanovic. He's playing at an all-star type level right now. Rudy Gobert, he's doing his thing. He'll put up his 12 points. He'll put up his double-double. He'll get his occasional 3 or 4 blocks. But Donovan Mitchell, even though he didn't play against the Dallas Mavericks on Friday, you clearly see a whole different Utah Jazz team. Mike Conley, you're seeing the Mike Conley that we thought we would get last year. We thought Mike Conley was going to play like that last year, but luckily we're seeing it this year because better late than never. Because and then you got the key bench piece in Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson, he's thriving in this role. He's leading the league in bench points. I think if he's not mentioned as a Sixth Man of the Year candidate come later on in the season, I don't know. I don't know what qualifies as a Sixth Man of the Year at this point, because Jordan Clarkson, he's just a straight Energizer bunny as soon as he comes into the game. He's very, very streaky, but once his 3-point shot is going, he doesn't stop. He absolutely does not stop. So they came in on an 11-game win streak. I believe they're now the third best team in the Western Conference. They're the third best team in the Western Conference. If I'm correct, right? Does anybody believe that the Utah Jazz are contenders? Let me know in the comment section down below. The next topic I want to get into is LaMelo Ball. Yes, I'm finally talking about I'm finally talking about NBA rookies, because I have not mentioned the rookies so far this year. I have not mentioned LaMelo Ball at any point since the season started. But LaMelo Ball, man, for a lot of people who thought that his game was not going to translate into the NBA, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you right now. I really do feel sorry for you, because he is absolutely one of the best playmakers that in this league right now. He's starting to really show how great of a playmaker he really is. He finds anybody on the court. He just knows where to find people, and he just makes this Charlotte Hornets team so fun to watch. Like, I know a lot of us don't watch Charlotte Hornets games, but am I lying when I say have people like me been paying attention a lot more to the Charlotte Hornets ever since LaMelo was drafted there? And now every time that there's a Charlotte Hornets game, there's always a highlight with LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has literally brought this team back to life. He's just making highlight play after highlight play. You could look at his stat line. He'll put up damn near triple doubles. He's doing these flashy passes to his teammates. He's making these ridiculous shots. It's like he's just making the Charlotte Hornets fun to watch. They might not be an extremely good team, but they're a damn fun team to watch. Whenever LaMelo Ball is on the floor, they're a much quicker team. The pace picks up. Of course, like, if most of us can agree, LaMelo Ball will be a starter by the time he will be a starter by this time next season. He will be the starting point guard of the Charlotte Hornets, because I don't see him coming off the bench. I don't see him coming off the bench starting next season. I'm not saying he's going to start this year. Who knows what direction they're going to go in, because at the same time, they could be just saying, screw it, let's just run it through LaMelo. It's just because they'd rather just put on a show the rest of the season, because they know they're probably not going to make the playoffs. Even though they got a big win against Milwaukee the other day, which is another team I'm going to get into next. But yeah, LaMelo Ball, he's just looked very, very impressive. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him, because like people have said, there are a lot of people that said that his game wasn't going to translate into the NBA because every team that he played on, it was just him with the ball. But the crazy part is, he's effective whenever he has the ball. It's like the Charlotte Hornets play a lot more loosely, and it helps guys like Devontae Graham and Miles Bridges and all of them, and even Malik Monk, and even Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward is another one that's balling out on the Charlotte Hornets team. And to me, whenever LaMelo Ball is on the floor with them, they get to play a lot looser. It's a lot easier for them. it's a lot easier for guys like that to start playing the way that they play. The Miami Heat played the Sacramento Kings also on Saturday, and finally I got to see my boy Jimmy Butler. Come back, and it was just so nice seeing him play. Putting up 30 points in his first game back. Now, it was a nail-biter also against the Kings, and you clearly saw that they need more time to play together again because their rhythm was just completely off. Miami's rhythm was just completely off, and you clearly saw it. It was basically a shootout with the Sacramento Kings. Now, I didn't like hearing the news that Tyler Hero might have to quarantine again because apparently a housemate, somebody that lived in his house, got tested positive for you know what, and it's just another obstacle of what has been a long and frustrating season. And for me to watch the Miami Heat go through this, it just frustrates the hell out of me. Because it's like the closer they get to finally being a team whole again, there's always a setback. But it was just nice to see Jimmy Butler back. You see that they just play like their normal selves again. You see Bam Adebayo, he plays a whole lot better when Jimmy's on the floor. They just look like a team that's more energized. Now we just need to see Goran Dragic back. We need to make sure they need to make sure that more players don't end up getting quarantined again, because that's again the most annoying thing of the season. Miami, I think, aside from the Washington Wizards, have had the most players that were in quarantine. And that's why they would take so many losses. They would take so many losses because they were playing with they had half their team in quarantine. So yeah, that was just extremely nice to see. That was just extremely nice to see. That I just loved seeing Jimmy Butler again, because I was starting to get worried because I was like, what the hell's going on? But luckily things are slowly getting back to normal on the Miami Heat side. The Clippers did their thing against the New York Knicks. It was a close game coming into the fourth quarter, and let's just say give the New York Knicks some credit. Give the New York Knicks some credit. They are not bowing down to these teams anymore. They are really fighting. And that's all under the influence of Tom Thibodeau. He does not let his teams just bow down to great contenders or playoff teams. You're going to fight when they're on the court, when Tom Thibodeau is on the sideline. And you could clearly see it has the influence on the guys on the court, especially RJ Barrett. They're just playing a lot looser. They're going to the rim more. They're not settling for jumpers. It's like they're not just settling for long jumpers. Yeah, I think I've covered everything I need to cover. If I missed anything at all, please mention it in the comment section below, because I do have a very strong habit of forgetting to mention things in these episodes, and it really does make me feel dumb when I forget it, because it could be a huge topic that I just forget to talk about. So please, if I forget anything, write it in the comment section below so I can remember to bring it up, whether it's in the next video or I just try to pay more attention, because I'm not perfect. Nobody is. We forget things. And I believe that's it. That's all. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell if you like basketball content. Stay safe. This is your boy Jay Varsity, and I'm out. Peace.
We got some non-believers out there.
Make believers out of non-believers. make believers out the overseas.